right here. But down there, from the corner of the trim all the way across to the corner, that's 46 inches. I'm going, I believe, to take the doors down. And I bought some butterfly hinges that are pretty and sort of black, and you know, it's got the bloop 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 on one side and bloop 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 on the other. I think I'm going to screw them to the actual trim when I get that up. Anyway, I gotta get this, I've got to get that porch cleaned off. I can't mess around with it anymore. I'll start with this door. Let's see. This one 81. Go out and get that done. I'll be back. Okay, I've done this one. I still need to do the top, across the top of the door. And then this is going to be really tricky when I get to doing the actual siding, because these old doors are normal height, where the mobile home doors are actually taller than normal doors. So with the new hinges on it, I'll bring it up so it's straight across the top. Even if the bottoms don't match or look the same down here, I want the tops to match. So I've got my number for this, 77 cut the line, that's for this trim. But when it's going to take 13 rows before the 14th row has to be cut around the door frame. And then that last piece there will go up and have to be cut around that door, and then it should just shoot on down. It's just going to be a little difficult, and it's making me have to make my mind wrap around it. Anyway, I'm going to go get this next one cut at 77, and I'll measure that over there before I go out, but it should be straight 77 on that other end too. All right, I've got that door. I took it off. I put the new trim up. I put the door back on with these butterfly hinges. They're not as big as they're not as big as what I thought they'd be, but they actually work with the doors pretty well. So that piece up there, that's leaning, goes across the top right there. When I get it up there, the level says I need to go up on that side a little bit, but my eye says it looks straight. So that's kind of throwing me, because I already know, you can see that space between the door right there and the wall above. Even when the trim gets up there, you see a space. So either I've got to take this trim down and cut it, or I've got to unscrew these butterflies. Could probably leave them on the door, but unscrew them from the trim and then raise it up to where you can't see through there anymore. And this stuff up here is a piece of plywood. It's 1/4 inch. This over here on the walls, that's not wood yet, it's paneling, old 70s paneling. It's so thin. It's not even 1/4. I don't even know what it is. It's so thin. So I think, now I know these boards are long. They're, especially when you get up there, they're going to be long, so there'll be some flexibility in them. So probably I want to leave it because it's going to give me something to screw to when I go up with the boards that'll be above the door. But I also feel like I don't want it to make things look off, like it's bowed out, even though I'll screw it back in. I don't know how bowed it might look. I'm kind of on the fence with what exactly to do. Do I want to take that off and just let nothing be back there? Or do I want to leave it for something to screw to. But it all right now just looks like poop because it's in deconstruction mode. And so I think what I'm going to do is get the trim across the top, and then I'm going to bring that door up. I'm going to unscrew from the trim side, the hinge from the trim side, so the hinge is still on the door, and then just raise it up to where I think it's at a good spot and you can't see back in there, you don't have a crack up there, space, and then screw it back in. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I've got to figure out exactly why that's saying it's higher over there than over here, because it doesn't look like that to the eye. I don't know. I have to figure that out. Let me get up here real quick. Anywhere. When I put this here, it basically says this needs to come up. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's quite a big space, it says. I'm going to get back and look at it. Let me get back in the room. Sometimes you can go by what the level says, and then you're the whole time you're thinking your eye is off. I don't have my tape measure in here. I left it on the porch. I could measure from the ceiling down to the top of that board and see what that number looks like. Because to me, it looks straight across there. It looks like it's perfectly straight. I kind of feel like I just want to leave it alone. These trim boards are dirty because they were, painted. Then they were just sitting on the back of my truck, and the cats have walked on them and stuff. So at some point, I'll have to, give them a little wash down. I might even have to touch up the paint. But yeah, so you can see how much space is there. So I'm going to fix this one. I'm going to unscrew the hinge from the trim and bring the door up. So there'll be more opening at the bottom, but it's fine. I just want, when you look in there, I want you to see, I don't want you to see a space like that. That's a big space, bigger than normal space. And then I will go ahead and put the rest of the screws in that top piece, and then hinge this door that's down here waiting to be next to go up. So let me do that real quick. All right, looky there. I got that space very, very small. It's almost, it's not rubbing. It almost looks like it is in this side over here, but it's not. And because I'm at an angle on this side of the bed, it's hard for you to see straight on, but it's up, it's done. Now I just need to get the other door up. And then I think I'll go cut this piece right here above the door here. And then I think I'm going to call it a night, because it's going to be dark in a little bit. I didn't get off to an early start this morning. I've been sick to my stomach the last 2 days. I don't know. I don't know if I ate something, if I got nervous. I was a little nervous. I try really hard not to be that nervous person. Just give it to God. God's going to work it out, figure it out. But unless he just caused the whole banking system to shut down for a day, or he made my account disappear for a day, I don't know. He could have done, he can do anything. But my problem was I needed to get, you know, what I did what I told you about with my PayPal card. So when I got the new card in, I had to get it registered. Well, my internet was messed up at the time. That could have been it too. We've been in and out with the internet. Buddy finally got it all fixed yesterday. But my internet has been off and on. There's several of you guys that sent me, like, you know how you do little direct messages, and there's sometimes memes or a little video or something for me to watch. And I couldn't watch. I could see that there was something there, but I couldn't open it because my internet was so limited. It wouldn't open things. But I don't know. I felt like sick almost all day yesterday, and this morning I didn't feel 100% yet. And so I kind of did like little stuff, like I'd clean the kitchen and I'd sit for a little bit. Then I had to go out and fix the mailbox. The mailbox had been, I told you, it was knocked down, and the mail lady had been really good about putting the mail, pulling into the driveway and putting it in the mailbox, because the mailbox was leaned up in the trees. But you can't take advantage of somebody that long. So I went out and I fixed that. Anyway, I got sort of a late start on this. And so I think until I get this door up and then put a little bit of trim over here, I'm going to go on out and feed up. And I'll just get this video out with y'all, calling it getting started. We're getting started. But I am worried about how it's all going to fall into place here, because I'm going to go 13 boards up, and from there things have to start being trimmed. The board has to be trimmed around the trim. So I hate that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to go, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Let me get this door up and I'll show y'all. All right, I got the door up. It's got a little bit more of a crack at the top, but this is what's happened. These doors came in from an old church. If you look at them, you can tell, well, I'm at an angle, so it's hard to tell, but this door has a wide rail, and the door on this side has a narrow rail. It's got a wide one and a wide one, and then a narrow and a narrow. So they did not match. They come from they came from a church, but on, you know, different doors in the building. I used them and put them together and painted them. Well, they were already a whitish color, so I just touched them up, and then I bought this old rim lock to use to close them. And then if you see at the bottom, it just has like a drop bolt, you know, the kind that dip up and down and sort of move over. And I drilled a hole into the trim, there's a threshold there. I drilled a hole the size of that bolt, and it slides that in, so it holds that door stays, like, unless you unlock it, it's permanently closed. And this is the only door that I usually open, unless I'm getting Christmas stuff out or whatever. Or no, not Christmas, but this stuff, getting that out, and then I open them both back sometimes. But anyway, this door has been shaved at the top. You know, they didn't always, when you couldn't afford to have your house jacked or whatever, then you would shave. So there's nothing I can do about it unless I want to take the complete door down, find a level line, and cut off to make it straight again. I could do that, but I am not doing it tonight. It is almost dark, and I've got to get out there and feed up for the night. But I'm thinking that I might do that when it's all said and done and the room is almost finished. Just pull that door down, go out, measure this side, measure this side, cut that side to whatever height this is over here, and then when it goes up, bring it all the way up to the top. And you can see, because it's very, like, barely a crack at this end, but it gets wider and wider and wider as it goes down. Then I've got this one that's perfectly straight. So it's because that door has been shaved in its past life, and I haven't unshaved it. I just left it the way it was. So the doors are up, the new butterfly hinges are on. I think I'm going to order another set of butterflies to put in the center, so they'll have a little bit extra strength. And then that alcove down there, I'm doing away with it. When I come with the boards, I'm going to come right on off of there and cover that. I don't want it. I'm trying to you know, sort of dwindled down the extras. And now that the 2 beds are in here and they take up so much room, split with walkways between the both and all that good stuff the way they are. Well, there's all my stuff laid out on my bed, but that chair is up in that alcove. That's an antique chair. I've had it since I bought this house from a resale shop. And it went with a writing desk. The writing desk I'm keeping, it's in the camper now, but it will become the little dining room table, because it's just like a perfect little square desk with a drawer in the middle. But it'll be perfect for the camper, the cottage part, as a little table to sit at if somebody's staying there. And you know, I know that there's nobody staying there. There's a possibility no one will ever stay there. There's a possibility that no one will ever stay in the camper, the little camper house, after the camper's gone. But I would still like to always have it as a space that's usable whenever the need arrives. You know, to say, hey, you know, you can stay in the camper if you want, you know, for a few days or whatnot. So I want to have it nice. And I'm still not completely through with the little kitchenette yet, because I haven't even put the shelf on the wall that the microwave will sit in or do any of that, because I get sidetracked on other things. And I felt like all of a sudden I slowed down, because like, I don't guess Ted wants the camper. So I haven't asked him again, because I felt like I'm not going to bother somebody. If you don't want to come get it, then I'm not going to beat you up with text messages and calls. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Because it's ridiculous to do that. So it is what it is. When the camper gets pulled away, even if I have to pay somebody, and I may have to hire some kind of crew, some truck company to come out and pull it across there. We can't do it now. We've had the rain. You can't cross Buddy and stuff. Up until that last week when we had all this rain, you could have done almost, you could have put 2 or 3 dump trucks across that back pasture. It was so hard. But once we get rain down here, it stays kind of sloppy for a while. Even if it's not much rain, it's still, I look like I'm tired because I kept waking up last night. Went to sleep with God's going to take care of everything, and I honestly believe that. But you know, I said I didn't feel real good yesterday, and then last night I didn't feel all that perfect again. I woke up at 2:30, then 4. So I feel like now I've got bags under my eyes and I'm just tired. But I'm gonna get out and feed them all up for the night and get back in, clean this room so we can go to bed later. And yeah, and then tomorrow, I'll go ahead and put this video out for y'all tomorrow of getting started. And then tomorrow I'm gonna work on the actual wood. And I've got McCoy's coming with some longer pieces, because that end down there, if I just cover and go across that alcove like that's not even there, I needed 46 inches from the trim board to the corner, and none of my stuff out there will be that length, because I got those little short pieces, and I got that would have done this corner and this corner. Now it'll probably do this, and maybe even this wall behind me, this little section here. I can probably do one thing on here, and this little section in between right here. But down there, from the corner of the trim all the way across to the corner, that's 46 inches. So I went ahead and ordered 5 more 12-foot boards, and that should give me the 13 that I need until you get to the spot where it'll be a whole board going across there, and I have those 2 on the porch. So I think we're good. I'll even get this side over here done when I really wasn't planning to, but I'll go ahead and get this corner done over here too. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Love you guys. God bless y'all. I will see you later. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.